Hello and welcome to Richland Spotlight, an ongoing program where we talk with city staff and shine a light on Richland programs, projects, and events happening in our city. Today, joining me from Richland Energy Services is electrical distribution engineer Shane Groves. Welcome to the program, Shane.
Thanks for having me.
Well, what we're here to talk about is a new technique we're using to install underground wiring in the city, something that's less obtrusive to the City of Richland residents and doesn't seem to tear up their lawns and everything else in established neighborhoods. And we call it horizontal directional boring. Tell me, what is that, Shane?
It is horizontal drilling. So instead of a vertical drill, we have a horizontal drill that bores underneath the ground, compared to conventional trenching, which we had to open an actual trench and put conduit and tear everything up.
So tell me a little bit more how this works and how the machine can basically just start outside the fence and make it all the way to the residence point that they need.
Yeah, so it's a bigger machine. It's similar size to a backhoe, and it has sticks on it, what we call sticks. They're threaded pipes, and then on the end of the first one there's an actual drill bit. And so once your first 20 feet is in the ground, they screw on another piece of pipe. And so we can get up to 450 feet on one bore. We can go from point A to point B about 450 feet underground.
What's the major advantage of this?
The major advantage of this is we don't have to tear up customers' backyards and landscaping that's been there for 30 years or however long it's been there. Plus it's a more efficient, faster method, cost-effective actually.
So tell me a little bit, how does that compare to trenching then?
So trenching, we used our own crews, and we would have a crew of 4, because that's our standard procedure, out there digging on a backhoe. And that process was a lot slower because you have to dig a big hole before you can put anything in it, whereas this, and then you have to backfill too. But this, you just drill underneath the ground from point A to point B, and then after the drill is made or the bore has been made, they use the machine to pull back the conduit through the hole. And
so that's another advantage. There's conduit in place. So what does that do as far as for the long term?
Yeah, so our old standard used to be to install cable direct buried. So they would just open a trench and lay the cable in the bottom of the trench. And that process is still used by many utilities. In certain cases it may still be used. But when it comes to the end of the cable life expectancy, which is about 30 years, when we have to replace it, it makes it very difficult to replace. So you either have to open up a new trench, or in our case, we're installing conduit. So once the conduit's installed, we'll be able to go back and pull new cable through it after it's met its life expectancy again.
So very fast and easy for outages or other maintenance issues then?
Yeah, that tends to be the advantage, and we don't have to go back through and dig anything up again. So you already have the conduit, and the conduit tends to last longer than the cable does.
Well, the current project going on right now is in the Meadow Springs area. How are you notifying citizens, and what are you telling them about this new process?
So we have twofold process. We send out an initial letter to let them know that we'll be in their area, and we send it out to anybody that will be affected on the project. And then we also send a specialized letter to people if they have a transformer or piece of equipment in their backyard that's going to take more intrusion, to let them know what we'll be doing there. And then along with that process, the second step is when the contractor actually gets there, he notifies the resident 24 to 48 hours in advance of when he's going to be in their backyard.
So what's the time frame for this current project?
Right now we're in Meadow Springs, and then we have 4 other places that we're going to go. North Richland, one's out by GWA and St. Street. The other's up on Thayer and Wright Street. So we got 3 projects spread out through there, and we'll most likely be doing the drilling through March, and then our crews will come back and pull cable through it after that time frame.
So do we plan on using this process for future projects?
Yeah, we plan to use this on our existing renewal and replacement program. Any of the existing cable in customers' backyards or back lots, to minimize the impact to their landscape. And it's a cost-effective process, and also it is faster than our traditional trenching.
Very good. That's a good spot to end. Well, I want to thank Shane for joining me here on Richland Spotlight, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this or other things happening on the city, first off, you can call Richland Energy Services at 942-7403 or check out the city's website. Thanks for watching Richland Spotlight. I'm Mike Charbonneau.